YouTube, Down to Bricks here, and welcome to another city update. So last month in September when I did an update, I promised I would have another update for you in October, and I have just scraped it in, and I have one all set to rock and roll for you guys. Now I've managed to get quite a few things done here, so let's go straight in. We're going to start down at the park and work our way down. So just quickly over the park area, nothing too different. As I said in the last update, that it's pretty much finished down here. I did take out some pine trees, put this fencing back a little bit. I had a few issues with the trains, and yes, I have been running trains again, and it's been awesome. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know one of my trains actually come a cropper and come off the table and smashed into a lot of pieces, but that's alright, that's half the fun. Going up and having a look at the tower, you can see that I did actually manage to finally find the antennas and everything for the tower. So I've got those back on. Just stepping back, having a look here. Nothing too different there at all. Old town, still the same. And the first change, if we go over the back here, is the pet shop. Now last month I did have one extra floor there in, and now I've built the other one. So the pet shop's bigger now, higher. I think that looks pretty cool. Nothing too different along the back here. If we have a look, these are just more of the lamp posts. I have done some of those from last month. You can see I've still got quite a few. Bag of red 2x2 tile, and that's to do this road all along here. I've just got to work out how I'm going to do that exactly, whether I'm going to do like I had before or change it up a bit, and now I can put all the lamp posts in. This section here, not too sure yet. I did talk about maybe making this like a little pedestrian area. I still may do that. I'm not too fussed with that. I just want to get the road edges tiled, lamp posts in, and I might just leave that section for now in case I have some other purpose for it. But on to the next change, and have a look at that. We've got some more apartments in. I love these apartments. Whenever I see this in someone's city, I always really like it. So had to do a few things here. Had two more to build because we already had two. One was mirror built, so we actually had to pull that apart and rebuild it again because I wanted them all being the same way. So that gives us 4, and then we have the Market Street. So I think that looks really good, like in the front of the town there, of the city, like that. I think that looks really good. And all this section has all been tiled along here, so we have a walkway going along, all the lamp posts there. The walkway goes right along to the train station, and here I have tiled up all in front of the cinema. And this is a great build, this one. It's only a simple build, but there's just something about it I just really like. And of course we have our servo there, the station, petrol station. Now another thing that's changed, all this rock work, that's all been completed, and I don't even think this was tiled before. So I've got all the stone work done. Just if I come back a bit so you can see that, and all the tiling along that track is done. And just sort of showing you, actually I won't show you just yet, we'll talk about here. So this, all these shops here, if I come back, all these shops here have been changed around a little bit and all now fitted in nicely. And if you haven't noticed, all this train track is tiled, and it's tiled right down. Let's have a look, little sneak peeks there, tiled right down to the end. I mean, how good does that look? Look at all that tiled track. I just love that, right down to the end. Pretty cool, isn't it? So these shops along here, had to fit these in a little bit, had to do a few changes to the church here, I really like this stained glass window, and that was on the other side of the church. I had to change that around and put it on this side so you can see it. So the church fits in there nicely. We've got these shops along here, and the bike shop, it was sort of offset onto the road plate that was behind it when it used to be sort of down that end, so I had to put it on its own plate. So that I had to rework that, actually lift it off the plate, move it all the interior and everything forward. So I think that's pretty cool there, just alongside the restaurant. So that's all been done. What else is different? So I've worked all that. I posted this on Instagram. This was just some different patterns I tried to do. I was originally just going to go with these 1x1s. That's what the wife really liked, and they're quite expensive, so I didn't go that way. I'm actually going to do a boardwalk along a railway line. I know that doesn't make perfect sense, but I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just waiting for more parts to come in, and I'll have a boardwalk that basically runs from here right down to the bike shop, and it will probably, this garden will probably go, I'm not too sure yet, and it might continue on through there as well. This area, still a bit of a mess, isn't it? It's not really fitting in properly to plate, so I've got to fix all that up. I'm going to come back and talk about this area a little bit more, so let's continue on, shall we? The Palace Cinema is gone. As I spoke about in the last update, that was the next building to get worked on, to do a custom Palace Cinema. So haven't started on it yet. All I've done is taken it out. So hopefully by next update, well, not hopefully, I'm going to get it done, and that will be in November's update. So the residential area here, we move on to that. So I had moved it around a little bit in the last update. The whole area down here was a right mess, wasn't it? But have a look now, it has all been tidied up, and as again, the tiled track, come back to that. So the roads, so I've put all these base plates in, and what I decided to do is just tile them. So I think they look pretty good tiled. Up the back there, not done yet, so I've got a little bit of work to do. The only problem with having it tiled is when we come around to here, you have this lip, and I'm not real keen on that. There's not a whole lot I can do about it, but what I have thought, someone actually suggested it to me, I can't remember who that was, sorry, to actually put in a speed bump or a speed deterrent, whatever you want to call it. Speed hump, it's probably called a million different things all over the world, but we call them speed bumps. So I'm going to build a little speed bump there, and just to slow people down going into the residential area, and that might try and hide that lip a little bit. So that's the plan there. Again, more tiling back here to be done. Just the edges of the roads, I mean, they're not perfect. These corners over here, it's all got to be fixed up. No rush for that stuff though, you can always get to that. But now with that road tiled and this layout, I really like this residential area. I think that looks really good. We've got the school here at the front, so the road comes down, and now we've got a little bus area as well, a place to park the school bus. As you can see, even says bus. How does it turn around? Don't ask that question. So let's keep going, shall we? A while ago when I started doing my city updates, again, a lot of people suggested I should have another exit from the city down in the residential area. I thought that was a great idea. A few people suggested a bridge or some type. Wasn't really sure what to do because it's just coming straight off onto the tracks here off the road. So I've just gone with this old timber look crossing and a bit of stonework, and I think that actually looks a treat. It's almost like they weren't, it was heritage listed and they weren't allowed to rip it up, so it's just nicely tiled up to here, and then we get the old timber work, and you can see you can drive over it, no problem. I did have some of the ramps I used down the other end for the other exit, like sat here, but I just thought that looked a little bit too polished, so I went with these stones, and they're just stepped up. If I come down here, you can see how they just step up, so your car can drive over them. But I do like this timber look. I really like that. I think that's come up a treat, so I'll be keeping that. And here we go. This end was a complete disaster. Have a look at it now. It's pretty barren, I'll give you that. All the remnants of the old industrial area gone, all farmland. Managed to get all the wind turbines put back in. Actually, I've got so many of those, I probably should add a few more, but I just think that looks really good. Looks a bit patchy with the bright green plates there. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Got people camping here, they're having a good time. So I'm just happy to have this all tidied up. Now, why did I put these in here? As I spoke about in the last update, I'm going to have an elevated area. I had a lot of questions about that, whether it's going to be a mountain or how I'm going to do it. So essentially it's going to be more like a ridge. So I'm going to have a ridge built up here, and then it's going to come up to another flat area. So there'll be a tunnel. A lot of people asked about that. There'll be a ridge here, a mountain ridge, a tunnel here for the trains. Then I'm going to build a bit of timber that sits right along here. All of the farmland will be placed up on this flat area. So what I've got to do is actually incorporate a way to be able to get from this raised area down onto the road here. So I'm going to have a little track or something built into the roadside. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to do. And then it's, as I said, it's going to be elevated up, and it will be all farmland on top of the mountain or the ridge. Eventually I will do a second ridge, and it will come up to a third tier, or second tier, I guess. This is third tier, get it right. I'm not going to say what I'm going to build up on top of there. I do want to keep that a secret, but it's a long-term project. I'm just going to work towards it. Definitely I will get it up onto a second level. I have started to order in some bricks to be able to work out what I'm going to do here, how I'm going to build this ridge. I do want to build a little section of it and share that with you guys, see what you think before I go ahead. I just want to work the height and everything I need to do out before I actually build the timber frame and the timber supports that's going to hold the whole thing up. And a bit more look at the farmland. I didn't actually explain why I've used this colour. I had to put plates in here to help hold this track down so it didn't move. Eventually, when this is all covered over with the elevated area, you're not going to see any of this. I need these plates to stay here to hold the track that's going to be here. So when I build it, it's actually going to be open along the front, so it will be a tunnel here, but it'll be open along the front. So you're going to be able to see in from the front. The mountain or the elevated area will be here, and you'll be able to see in the side of the tunnel to watch the trains. So this will all stay. You'll see all this. These bright plates will get covered up, so you won't really see those. I ran out of those, so I would have put another one here. Otherwise, that will come out and I will put in another bright green one. And on the end, I don't know what that will be. It might end up with some grey plates or something. Not too sure yet. And my train track's a little bit long for the table. It does hang out a little bit, but that's okay. So let's go back along. And I guess we talk about more plans. So I think I've pretty much covered everything. As I said in the last update and this one, the Palace Cinema. I'll be working on that. That will be in the next update. The one after that will be the brick bank. But this area, I said I'd come back to this area. Now that we've had the announcement of the new modular, the assembly square, and how awesome does that look? Bang. that is going right here. I'm going to change things around. This will probably go. I've got to move that. This is going to go, and the assembly square will go in here, and this will end up like a whole shopping precinct. It's going to come along, so I'll have the boardwalk, all shopping. It'll come along here, all tiled, all nice boardwalk, shopping. Come into here. I'm not too sure. I'm going to probably have this deli, maybe a few other shops. This is my problem, the service station. We call them servos, petrol station, gas station, whatever you want to call it. In Australia we call it servos, and I love this servo. I really, really love this build. I don't want to get rid of it. It's not really going to suit though when I build all this up for a shopping area. What do I do with it? It's a major problem. I don't want to lose it from the city. I have thought about putting it behind these buildings, and I did move it and put it there to see what it looked like, but it's just hidden. You really don't get to see it. You don't get to enjoy it. So I don't know, guys. I'm really, really stuck on that one. You sort of come up with these hard things sometimes where you just can't fit something in you really love. I'm going to keep it in for as long as I can. Who knows? It may mean I have to extend the city again just so I can fit it in. Who knows? But yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? What do I do? Any ideas you guys have? I'd love to hear them. So please let me know in the comments. That would be very good. But I think that's probably about it. I better wrap this up. It's gone on for longer than what I thought. So I hope you enjoyed this October 2016 update. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. As I said, I have been playing with the trains again, and I am going to do a train update. So that will be coming very soon as well. So look out for that one. But as always, guys, really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.